Hello everyone, welcome back to our podcast. I'm Ferry.
And I'm Zia. We're so happy you're here with us today.
Before we start, we like to welcome you to Tales Revisit, our special podcast segment where we revisit unique stories, unforgettable trends, and fascinating traditions from around the world. Today's episode is called Exploring 5 Unique Trends and Traditions from Indonesia.
Exactly. Indonesia is known for its beautiful beaches, delicious food, and rich culture. But today, we're not talking about tourist attraction. We're talking about the fun, unexpected, and sometimes hilarious things that make Indonesia so unique.
Some of these trends become popular across the whole country, while others are traditional that have been around for generations. And honestly, if you hear about them for the first time, you might think we're making them up.
But we promise they are real.
Today, we'll talk about Om Toilet Om, the Agate Stone craze, Tamiya Mania, Panjat Pinang, and kite fighting.
So, whether you're Indonesian or not, get ready to discover some fun facts that make you say, wait, Indonesians really do that?
Alright, let's start with something that made Indonesia famous for every unexpected reason.
A bus horn.
Exactly, so Zia, why were kids standing on the side of the road shooting? Talalat Om.
Well, back in 2060, kids all over Indonesia would wait for big buses to pass by, and they'd have wave and shout, Telolet Om, which basically means, Mister, please honk the Telolet horn.
And when the driver actually honked,
everyone would scream, laugh, jump around, and celebrate like they had just won the lottery.
imagine being a tourist and seeing a crowd of kids cheering because a bus honked.
You'd probably think something amazing was happening.
The funniest part is that this wasn't just in one city.
Exactly, it spread almost everywhere in Indonesia.
And then, somehow, the internet did its thing.
Right, videos start going viral and suddenly famous DJs like Martin Garrix, DJ Snake, and Zed were tweeting Telolet Om.
Indonesia really said, let's make a bus horn go international.
Mission accomplished.
Okay, this next one is probably my favorite.
Let me guess.
Rocks.
Yes, around 2040, Indonesia suddenly became obsessed with agate stone.
And when you say obsessed,
I mean, everyone, your dad, your uncle, teachers, office workers, even government officials.
people literally look at a colorful rock and say, I need that.
Exactly. People search rivers and mountains for stone. Some even learn how to cut and polish them themselves.
So it wasn't just buying a ring, it became a hobby.
A very serious hobby. Some rare stones were sold for hundreds of millions of rupiah.
That's crazy. Imagine losing your ring and saying, guys, I just lost a small fortune.
And then after a while, almost everyone suddenly move on.
Poor rocks. Let's move on. Tamiya. When I was little, I thought everyone just bought the toy and playing with it.
Oh no, for real Tamiya fans, buying the car is only the beginning.
Exactly. Then they start changing the motor, changing the wheels, changing the gears, changing almost everything.
Some people spend more money upgrading the car than buying it.
It's basically Formula One, but the driver are tiny pieces of plastic.
And competition are intense. People watch every race very seriously.
Imagine losing by half a second.
Heartbreaking.
Did you ever play Tamiya, Zia?
A little, but mine usually fell off the track.
Same, I guess we were not born to be engineers. Now, here's something that confuses almost every foreigner. Why would people climb a tree covered in grease?
Because there are prizes at the top.
Every Independence Day, people gather to watch Panjat Pinang. There, a very tall pole is covered in oil, and prizes are hanging at the top.
Sounds easy? Not at all.
People keep slipping, falling, laughing, trying again.
And the best part is, nobody can do it alone. Everyone has to climb on each other's shoulders.
So it's actually about teamwork.
Exactly. The stronger your teamwork, the closer you get to the prize.
Although, someone always end up covered from head to toe in grease.
That's part of the experience.
Last but not least, kite fighting. When I first heard that name, I imagined two people swinging kites at each other.
No, the kites do the fighting.
So, what's the goal?
To cut your opponent's kite string, people coat their kite string with special materials to make them stronger and sharper.
So, this isn't just flying a kite, it's strategy.
Exactly. You have to control the wind, move carefully, and attack at the right moment.
And then, once the string is cut, chaos begins.
Kids immediately run after the falling kite. Sometimes dozens of kids chase their some kite through fields and streets.
So, after one competition, there's another competition. Whoever gets its wins.
Exactly. Honestly, sometimes catching the kite is even more exciting than flying one.
Yeah, that's right. So, today we discover that Indonesians can turn almost anything into something exciting. A bass horn, a colorful rock, a toy car, a slippery tree, and even a kite.
These trends and traditions might sound strange at first, but they all bring people together. Whether it's cheering for a bus driver, competing with friends, or celebrating Independence Day, they're all part of what makes Indonesian culture so fun and unique.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something new about Indonesia.
If you ever visit Indonesia, maybe you'll get to experience one of these yourself.
Thank you so much for listening.
See you in the next episode of Tales Revisit. Bye. 7 menit.